Hey, welcome to Be the Boss of Your Money. Welcome to the very first, adjusting my audio here down there. This is the very first full day of the second half, first full day of the second half of 2023. And there are a couple of things that I noticed, a couple of observations that are obvious, but it's the less obvious observations that I want to get over to you and give you a sense of what can happen next in the market, the economy. I want to give you, let's start with what we know, where we are, how we finished the first half. Now, even though last Friday was the last trading day of the first half, Monday we had a half a day, but the major averages barely moved. I mean, they were up so fractionally of a percentage. It was I don't even know why the market was open on Monday. So today's the first real day of the new year. Forgetting about what today did, things are up a little, down a little. Very quiet day. I would say it's a typical summer day, blazing hot in New York. It's a short week. The parking lot today never quite filled up like it's a day back to work. That's my anecdotal evidence that it's a very quiet week. And by tomorrow afternoon, and definitely on Friday, everybody's going to be heading out back to the Hamptons that they just got back from. Probably most people are going to just stay there anyway. So let's just get into it. While you're watching this, do me a solid, give us a thumbs up, an applause reaction, or a wow, or a heart, whatever is available to you, depending on which social media platform you're watching from. I love hearing from you. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. If you want to take our conversation to a one-on-one, just you and me, we'll talk about your personal finance. We'll talk about whether or not you're on track to reach your retirement goal, things you might think about doing to reach your retirement goals, if your investments are where they need to be, what they should be in, things like that. That's why you would reach out to me. I'm a financial advisor with over 3 decades of experience, and I'm not quitting. I've got a long way to go. I love what I do. So reach out and we'll figure it out. So far, I see Brett Rogers. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate you joining us. Larry is out there. What's up, Mitch? Great seeing you last week. Larry, it was so great to see you. You're going to be a guest on the live stream. I love your profile picture, by the way. Beautiful. So I'm looking forward to having you up here, and we'll do it remote, of course, but great to see you as well, my friend. I'm going to roll a quick intro, and then we will get into the heart of the matter. Some of the things I'm going to say to you are probably going to be a little bit of a surprise, some maybe a big surprise. Here we go. Okay, thank you for joining me. The most important comment: hi, Dad. Keep up the amazing work. My daughter's comment there, so you got to put that up. Thank you, sweetie. Love that. Okay, so let's take a quick gander of what we know. The year turned out to be, so far, a really good first half. The NASDAQ had the best first half since I was in 10th grade, 1983. Wow. 40 years ago. I can't believe my 40th high school reunion is coming up in the not too distant future. I felt old when I went to the 20-year. Oh my God. Anyway, NASDAQ was up 32%. The S&P 500 was up almost 16%. The Dow is up a measly 3.8% for the first half. Better positive than negative. There's reasons why it lagged. You can't invest directly into an index, but you could invest in a security that tracks or mimics an index. Okay. So it just goes to point out a few things. First, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is pretty much, in my opinion, the most useless words that I say. The Dow Jones, the Dow is up, the Dow is down. It's kind of useless. It's not an industrial benchmark at all. There are a few industrial stocks in it. Boeing's in it, but I don't really consider it. There's drug companies in it. They're not industrial. Disney is in it. J.P. Morgan is in it. I mean, it's why Procter and Gamble. Anyway, there are better proxies to use to get a gauge on the manufacturing and industrial base of the U.S. economy. However, we have to look at these indexes. We will follow them. So I've got all my notes over here. I don't know if you could see that. All right. Winning sectors, of course, is technology. Now I'm going by the 11 sectors of the economy. Think of it this way. Standard & Poor's took the U.S. economy and broke it down into 11 sectors. One of those sectors is technology, and there are exchange-traded funds, actual up to the second traded exchange-traded funds, securities that track these indexes of stocks. All right. So the index of technology stocks, which would, as you would expect, includes Apple, for example, includes NVIDIA, that was up 39.7% year to date. That was followed by communications, which is up 35%. Okay. Now you might think, well, communications, I mean, did AT&T and Verizon do that well? That's what's so strange about the communication sector, though, and this is kind of a surprise for a lot of people. If you take a look at what's in it, AT&T and Verizon are actually pretty small components in the communication sector of the economy. Standard & Poor's decided that Meta, which used to be called Facebook, and Alphabet, which used to be called Google, and Netflix are communication stocks. It does make sense. A lot of people think of those as tech stocks, but they're considered communications. And because large cap tech related companies had such a great first half that they helped push up the communication sector 35%. And then following up with that is a 31% gain for consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary are things that you want but not necessarily need. Now, in consumer discretionary are automobile companies, including Tesla. Now, we might not think of cars as something we want. We think of them as something we need, but that's just the way they're counted in the averages. So because Tesla had such a great year, that helped lift up the entire sector. If you have any questions about this, hit me up in the comments. I will see those. That's what this is all about. I love hearing from you. And if you're watching this in the replay, welcome to as well. Just watch it like you're watching the live, and I will see your comments and I'll get the little notifications. And don't forget, give me a thumbs up if you would. It helps the algorithm. It helps more of your contacts see the great content. It'll help more of your contacts see the great content we're putting out. This is all about education. But the back of the pack, what did not work? Okay, we have to look at what didn't work. Energy was down 7% on the year so far, and that is a big surprise. Consumer staples is down 0.5%. Consumer staples are companies like Procter & Gamble, Clorox. They make things that you need, not necessarily that you want. Think of consumer staples as toilet paper, toothpaste, and food. So here's what the big surprise is. Those three sectors were expected to be the best sectors this year. We were supposed to see a big uptick in the price of energy, especially because of the Russia-Ukraine war. We were supposed to see China come back online after, opening up from the COVID lockdown there. So energy was supposed to do well. Consumer staples were supposed to do well because we're supposed to be going into a slowing economy, maybe a recession. So it was really backwards. And raising rates were supposed to hurt the tech sector. They were supposed to hurt communication sector. It's supposed to hurt companies with higher P/E ratios that are considered growth companies as opposed to value companies. So the complete opposite has happened this year. So for those who are making big sector bets one way or the other, this has probably been a very difficult year for you. You're lagging the market. And if you're a professional investor like a mutual fund manager, a hedge fund manager, now you're playing catch up and you're buying the hot stocks. You're buying NVIDIA, you're buying Facebook, and you're just running into like the stocks that are up a lot. I don't want to say they're overpriced, but the stocks that are up a lot. And you could be setting yourself up for failure again, but that's the way the street works. That's the way the business works. But you and I, as retail investors, we don't have to worry about this because we are, you could say it, right? You know what I'm going to say. We are diversified, and diversification is super important. We might be limiting our upside by not being all in the biggest winners, but we do help limit our downside by not being overly exposed to the biggest losers. So diversification is a strategy that, it helps mitigate downside, but it doesn't necessarily eliminate risk. For sure, it doesn't prevent your account from going down in a generally down market, as we all know. So those are the sectors that did well, the sectors that did poorly. In the communication sector, I said is Meta, which is Facebook. That's up 138% year to date. Netflix up 50%. Google, which is now called Alphabet, up 35%. NVIDIA, biggest winner in the S&P 500, was up 190%. I wonder how many people took tax losses on NVIDIA last year thinking they'll get back into it at a better time, which is why I say if you like a stock so much and it goes down a lot, you could either hold it, you could buy more. But selling it and expecting to get back into it is a tough game. Most people never get back in because they're always waiting for a better time. It just never materializes. You wait for the stock to go down a little bit more. Then it keeps going down and you say, I'm not going to buy it because it's going down. And then you say, and then it goes up and you say, well, I could have bought it lower, so I'm not going to buy it now that it's up. And it just becomes endless procrastination. So I say, buy it, hold it, forget about it. You can use a strategy that I like to use. You could put in below the market limit orders. So let's say you buy 100 shares at $200 a share. Okay. $20,000. Maybe the stock goes down to 180. Put a limit order in to buy another 30 shares at 180. Another limit order to buy another 30 shares, let's say maybe 150. So when it does start to come in, you automatically buy more on those limit orders. And the nice thing about those is it gives you discipline. It's not saying, well, I'll watch the stock and if it goes to that level, I'll buy it. These people never do it. They say they're going to do it, but they don't. So you need the disciplined approach. And I think automation in your portfolio using limit orders, to me, is a huge help. That's one of the things I do for my clients, which you can reach out, check me out at clientfirststrategy.com. And we can, maybe a 15-minute conversation with me is worth your time. If you're a financial advisor watching this, I, of course, thank you. And I know you're doing a great job for your clients. And kudos to all of us. The industry is the best it's ever been and only getting better. So that is really all I wanted to talk about today. We've got another thumbs up out there from Bobby Bird, my partner. Bobby, love you, brother. I think that's it. That's all we're going to cover today. I'm going to get going, and I hope you guys have a great day, rest of the day, great evening. I hope you're keeping cool. Hope you had a nice July 4th holiday weekend, and I'll be back tomorrow. If you have any thoughts about what you want me to talk about on the show, send me a DM or let me know in the comments, and I will cover that gladly. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.